always a party at Patchwork, so let's get this party started. Hoot, hoot. Hi, everyone. This is Julie from Patchworks, and I am so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV tonight here at Patchworks. Whew! We have a bunch of new fabric to show you. We have some quilt kits I want to feature. We have a bundle of the week. Ooh, and this is super exciting. We have a special guest tonight. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. So you asked and we delivered. So say hello to Kathy.
Hello, everybody.
So Kathy is here with me in the studio tonight, and who knows what crazy things we might be up to. But I'm so happy that you're joining us tonight. So I'm just going to take a peek over here, make sure that you can see us and hear us and all that good stuff. Oh, Pat's super excited, Kathy.
Hello, Pat.
So hello, happy Friday Eve. That is so fabulous. Make sure to share and like for our fun drawings that we have tonight. So tonight we are going to be doing two $10 gift cards. What? So we'll do one $10 gift card for just someone who watches, and then one $10 gift card will be placed in one of the orders that has been placed tonight. So super, super, super exciting. And I am so excited. Oh, and all the Pats who are on board say hello, Kathy. So whether you are Patty or Pat or the other Pat or the other Pat or the other Pat, Kathy says hello. So super, super fun. We are going to start tonight with our bundle of the week. And I want to remind everyone that we now have on our website a page dedicated to our show tonight. And I included it in our notes. I'm just going to pop it in the comments again because, oh, maybe I didn't pop it in the comments yet. We're going to pop it in the comments right now. So that's the link. It is hot. Like, it is such a hot link. It is just ready as of like 6:59 and a half. We are just that good of being able to synchronize it to going live with the show. So we have this bundle of the week, and the bundle of the week was curated by our fantastic quilty team, and it is called Better with Cheddar. So let's take a peek overhead at the Better with Cheddar bundle of the week. So we were talking about, in the store, we were talking about how in historic times, and maybe I'm just spreading rumors, but I really don't think so, that cheddar was the base color of navy back in like the 1800s when they printed garments. So oftentimes that's why you saw the navy and this goldeny, yellowy, orangey color, because it was the base color. And I thought I had learned that in a reproduction fabric class with Barbara Brackman, but I could also be making it up. So we were talking about that. Everyone was fascinated. And so we came up with this fantastic fabric collection line here. So we have some things, and it's a variety of different textures. So this is very traditional. This is some really fun little hearts. We have a more contemporary, fresh, little textured solid there. Some great stars. Beautiful here. I think this is one of those great Stoff marbly backgrounds. This one is a little bit more traditional here. Same there. Ooh, some nice dots. So these are more contemporary, but it's really interesting to see how the super traditional goes with the super contemporary, and I love this eclectic collection. Here's a Kim Schaefer print. Here is a great Ruby Star print. This fun gingham on a diagonal there, really nice, and then this great one here. So super, super fun. We made a few extra bundles. So our reminder here is that a bundle of the week is 12 curated fat quarters, cut, selected folded, tied, all that good stuff by our amazing team here at the store. And we make a limited number of them, and they're available at an amazing price. So the price for all 12 of these fat quarters is just $24.99. So it's a little over $8 a yard. Super amazing. And you know, all of these 12-pack patterns that we hand out complimentary with our purchases or with any orders, they all start with 12 fat quarters. So if you've ever heard me talk about one of these great 12-pack patterns, or you've gotten one of these grayscale patterns in your order or in your bag, so like this one, or this one, or this one, they start with 12 fat quarters. So this is 12 fat quarters and 2 3/8 yards background. This is 12 fat quarters and 1 yard of a light, and then some extra fabrics for your other part there. And then this one here is just 12 fabrics. So 3 yards of fabric here would make approximately a 45 by 60 quilt if you just kind of sewed them together. And this one here is a 49 by 56. I love this So Simple one, but of course you could add other fabrics to it. So any of these that we always hand out would be great starter patterns for this. And so just wanted to share that with you, that that is a great one. So I know that will not last. You know, different ones from different times come and go, but you're going to want to scoop that one up. So I had seen that we already were down to, we had made 12 this month, or this week. And as we were going live with the show, I think we were already down to 9 or 10. So you guys were scooping it up. Want to grab that one. And as a reminder, with likes, comments, shares, someone is going to get a $10 gift card. And with one lucky order tonight, you will also receive a $10 gift card for your next purchase, which can be used in-store or online. All right. So, ooh, amazing bundle, better with cheddar. So I thought it would also be, I called it mac and cheese. But then we had this whole debate in store. Kathy, you have to let me know what you think. Whole debate in store that mac and cheese is actually more yellow than the color of this. And then we had the whole debate of, well, depends on how much food coloring was used. So you never know. But what do you think? Do you think that this is mac and cheese, or is mac and cheese a little lighter in color?
Lighter in color, but it's cheese noodles.
Cheese, oh yes, yes, yes. The cheese, so the Kraft cheese noodles. Is that what the box actually is? Or is that just our? So yeah, so Kathy and I are sisters, and so we grew up and called Kraft mac and cheese noodles. So anyhow, better with cheddar, cheese noodles, any of those good things. Great bundle. So the next thing we are going to talk about is this great quilt behind me. So this great quilt behind me is Garden Dreams. And Garden Dreams, this is one that features some of the Create Joy fabric. This is Sunshine and Blue Skies. And it has this great, great, great panel in the center. Admire the roses, drink in the blue skies, turn your face to the sun, and your spirit will fly. We had been out, or I thought we were out of this kit. And then we were cleaning up the back room, and like, you know, never know. Sometimes I hide things, and apparently I hid a kit. So this kit is not going to last long. It is $99.99. It is a 54 by 62. It has the amazing panel and great fabrics to make the top and binding. You will need an extra 3.5 yards of fabric for backing. And you know, if you would rather just make something else, this is the only way to buy this amazing panel. So you're gonna wanna scoop that up. It's a pretty good deal. And we just have one left. So I wanted to share it in tonight's video since I just found it this past week. So I hope you enjoy that. It is featured on the page that has in our collection for the show. So next up, what are we going to talk about? Well, I think if I look at our page for the show, this one's pretty exciting. We are going to share with you the Prairie Gatherings flannel. So I'm going to have Kathy come over here, and she is going to help me share this collection with you, which is super awesome. And I know a lot of you have been waiting for this collection. So let us, yeah, that one right there. So she's going to help bring it over. This one has some panels as well as fabric. So I'm going to show you the panel first, okay? So we put together our bundles. You can set that there. So we're going to put together share the, can you help me here? Hold this. You can hold one of them. Okay, so, and then you can see there. All right, so we have that in with the cream background, and I also have it with this great navy background. So this one we did not include in the, we did not include this one in our bundle here. I should probably move a little bit more this way. Okay, I did not include this. So this is like a cheater panel, and it has cut lines on it. I still have it listed as yardage on the website, I think. We'll check out how we're going to do it, but it's really, really cool. I also think this could be super fun to turn either this one or the other pieces that we have included in our bundle, like this, into one of those great quilted coats. Don't you think that'd be kind of fun? So, and especially if you aren't into wool applique, but you like the look of like these really cool wool pennies on here, this is a great way to take advantage of that look. And depending on how you'd stitch it up, you could get that appearance of some fancy applique. So that is, those are the panels. Now we're going to take a peek overhead at all the fabrics for this collection. All right, so we didn't make a circle of these. I'm going to run through these so we can see them. And then Kathy, can you go over to the shelf to get the layer cake and charm pack of them as well? They should be on top of the cabinet, I think. Thank you. So let's take a peek here at this gorgeous fabric. Slide it over just a little bit. And so there are 38 fabrics in this collection. So we start with the neutrals here. And then we did include, there are several primitive muslin flannels that we included in here. So this is one of them. And someone had come in today with an autumn gatherings panel from a couple years ago. This fabric goes beautifully with that. So it doesn't have the purple that one had in, but between the oranges and the grays and the blues, it all worked really, 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 really well. So we have some neutrals here. I love that. This is the same texture as I think the farmhouse gatherings that we still have. And we moved all of the farmhouse gatherings that was left in the store, that flannel, to the sale room, so there would be a few fun ones to pick up. Nice red in here. I think it makes the screen look a little crazy, so I'm going to take that one away. And I love, love, love this stripe here. Really nice. So those are those there. And then we have some that are a little bit taupier. Brown, cocoa. Ooh, ah. And then some rich color here. This is like kind of tweed-like, and there's a bluish gray and the cocoa in this print. So it's kind of hard to see it on screen, but it is so sumptuous. It is not a solid. And then we get into the gorgeous pumpkin colors here. 4 amazing, rich oranges. So it looks a little bit more red on screen, but these are nice pumpkin-y colors. We have some cranberry and some crimson into like a barn red. And this one here, this is another one of those primitive muslin flannels, super yummy. And then for our lights, we have the plain, so this is like the background of this one, of this print. Nice. We have the primitive muslin in the cream. And then we have this same stitching here, but in the blue. We have some great blues here, and this probably would go really, really, really well with any lakeside gathering flannel that you have left over. You also, I could see if we played around with the palette here, I mean, look at this. If we went here, this would be a great Americana palette, right? So lots of different ways that we can play with this. And then this stripe here, I love that stripe. I think it's fabulous. So we have that gorgeous stripe, and then we have these two prints here. So these two we included in our fat quarter bundle and our half yard bundle. There are 38 pieces in our fat quarter and half yard bundle, 40 fabrics in the collection. The 39th and 40th fabric are the ones that had this more like squares here. And so we just weren't quite sure how this would cut up into a fat quarter. So we thought we'd leave that one out. We were sent short bolts of both of those. So if these are appealing to you, you are going to absolutely want to grab more of this than later, because they only shipped us half bolts of both of those. So those must be in short supply. And then jelly rolls aren't necessarily appropriate with flannel, so we do have the 5-inch squares and 10-inch squares of this full collection, which are super fun. I don't think these are in the pre-cuts. We are getting a couple wide backs with this collection. They have not shipped yet, and I have to check to see if there is a book coming with this one. If there was, we would have ordered it, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. So really, really fun. And so Patricia wants to know, would I wash the flannel fat quarters before washing? And so that is, or would I wash them before cutting? That's a really great question. And what I might do is, especially if I'm not sure how tight my things are, you can sort of achieve any shrinking required if you starch and let that dry before you press. So that way, if you were worried about any shrinkage, that would happen. One of the things that is nice about the Moda flannel is it isn't as loose of a weave as some other flannels that we have in the market. And so I haven't done a wash test recently, but in the past with Moda flannels, they have not shrunk as much as some other flannels in the market. But it's really nice, it has a nice body to it. And if you are working with your charm packs, you absolutely never, ever, ever, ever wash charm packs or layer cakes. But if you were, once again, concerned about any shrinkage or anything, you absolutely can go ahead and starch into submission. And so I would starch and let dry any of those pre-cuts if you were concerned about shrinkage or wanted to give them a little bit more oomph before you started cutting into them. All right. So super, super fun. And yes, super fun jacket and really nice and cozy for the winter. Ooh. All right. So that was our primitive or our Prairie Gathering flannel. Super nice. And as I said, it goes really well with the Autumn Gatherings flannel that was a few years ago. Those grays work really well into the farmhouse flannels that were last year. And those blues also work really, really great with the lakeside gathering flannels that we had a couple seasons ago. So, very versatile. Or just put your Americana together. Flannels are awesome. What else do I have to show you today? Oh, well, I had it right next to the Living the Dream flannel. I didn't bring them out today to share with you, but since we're talking flannel, you know, right now in the house, we have probably more flannel than we've had in a really, really, really long time. So it's just pretty exciting to be able to share all of that with you. I have a couple more fabric lines to share with you, but before I'm going to share with you the complete fabric lines, I'm going to talk about a couple things that are in front of me. And that is, we have Stephanie Slewinski's of Fancy That Design House. She's a Wisconsin designer, if you didn't know that, and she has a pop-up shop not too far away from here. So I've never been there, but there's some interesting hours that she has with her pop-up shop, that she has with her studio, and so she has some other things with her art on there in there. So if you like being out and about, and I think it's next to a coffee shop and maybe an antique barn, I think, maybe. I don't know. Has anybody been there? Let me know. So we have Foraged, Found, and Hand Me Down. So let's take a peek at this. So this is just a peek of some fabric that is coming up, and love this great style that she has. So we have the pre-cuts, the layer cake, charm pack, and jelly roll in the house right now. Super fun. And yardage will be coming, and there's a fun panel with that as well. I believe these colors work really well with her previous lines, and we even have some of her previous lines that are a little bit more vintage available. What's the remaining part of them available? We have some of them even in our sale room. Ooh, the Dawn on the Prairie. We have a little bit left in the sale room. And you know what? I bet this even goes great. Take a guess. What do you think it goes great with? Ooh, look at these colors. It goes great with our Betta with Cheddar. All right. Can you bring me over we have a charm pack and a layer cake that go along with this, right back there. All right, so super fun. The next thing I'm going to show you it's a sneak peek. So it's for Washi Plus. And, you know, as I just quick peeked here, right after I showed you this, I realized I didn't click the on button for the website. So it'll go on right after we're off the show. But I'm really excited because this just came in. So, you know, in Salutations, which was the line that just came out by Rashida, that had pens and a little bit of washi tape and whatever, we have Washi Plus, which has like homage to washi tape. So I don't have a thing about washi tape, but I love this fabric. So I'm just going to take a peek overhead at this layer cake here. So I don't know what it is, but this decorative paper tape. Kathy, do you use washi tape for anything? She does not. Nope, she does not. Okay, so I don't know, but it's decorative, it's fun, and I like stationery, and it's back to school time, so it's really fun thinking about all sorts of stationery. Was that just me, or did you collect the stationery too?
Oh, back then.
Back then she collected. So we even had a stationery drawer at the house growing up. It was great. It was in the fancy furniture in the living room. We had this really cool stationery drawer. All right, so super fun. We have this here, and the yardage is going to be coming. You're going to want to make sure to scoop those up. We do have yardage coming on this stuff. So that is pretty exciting. And then the salutations, it goes really, really well with, and we have a whole bunch of salutations in the store, including the pre-cuts. And then we have some ribbon too. So the ribbon, see, it goes really nice with that. So we have some of the designer pack ribbon from Renaissance Ribbon. And then this would be the salutations layer cake. That would go really, really well. And so color-wise works well with it. And then it works also with the selvages. So we're expecting the selvages plus yardage back in stock soon. But I thought I read that that was going to be a new Ruby Star Basic. Did anybody else see that? I think that's pretty cool. So we do have some coming. So, oh, and I see Deb, you love your washi tape for your bullet journal. Yeah. And then you use it on your machine for a seam guide. Really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Sherry says washi tape can be used for EPP. Karen uses it to mark her sewing guide on her sewing machine. Yes. And scrapbook people do it. And the other thing is that with the washi tape that we did a while ago is that we actually positioned it on when we were making giant half square triangles. And then we were just sewing on either side of it. So all sorts of fun, useful options. Okay. Obsession with washi tape. Ooh. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. Glad you helped.
Must have been a tough day at work. She's like subdued today. You just never know. Well, she's trying to get her back into the show, right? So she doesn't want to scare us all the first time. What?
Don't tempt me.
No, don't tempt her. Next up, we are going to talk about, before we talk about Tim Holtz, we are going to talk about 3 really fun pieces of fabric, totally random pieces of fabric that came in this week, maybe. Are there 3 pastel bolts of fabric over there? There are not. Oh, they're right there. Okay. Yes. All right, so Kathy has some fun fabric she's going to share with us. So this is number 1. Do you want to unravel one of them? Ooh, ah. So that's super fun. That would make a really great border. You could, and there are like, so it's kind of like lines in here and then white polka dots sprinkled on top. So that is really fun. I think it's really cool. And then we have this one here that's like an argyle. Nice fun diamonds, really fun scale, really soft and dainty. These are from Figo. And then this one, oh, this one's really good. Oh, we probably should have showed, there was somebody looking for some gingham today. We should have showed them this one. Ooh, ah, so it's a pastel rainbow gingham. Super pretty. And I bet it would go really well with the sorbet line. So if you want to hold that there, Kathy, I'm going to bring the sorbet tower over. So that sorbet tower that we looked at last week, that is P&B. Ooh, look at that. See, look at this. Ooh, ah. So we have that really fun 12-pack pattern that we featured those fabrics in, and I just think this would go really great. So any one of these would go great with it. Just wanted to share that with you, but those are in the collection page, or our show page for tonight as well. Thank you, Kathy.
Welcome.
All right. So then we are going to, with our very fancy technical capabilities, we are going to, very carefully, change out the quilts.
Help.
So this is the indigo tiled quilt that we featured in our last night's Tim Holtz Palette Club, and we have it available in a quilt kit. This features the indigo palette, which is the ninth collection of the 12 palette collection. This one is super, super fun and goes together really, really easily. We're going to talk about all the fabrics here that we have, but I just want to introduce the quilt first. So this is an ample 72 by 84 quilt. It's a $199.99 kit, and it goes together actually pretty simply. I think this looks like an Italian mosaic tile floor, don't you think? And going, like, if you were traveling abroad, we're like traveling and seeing this gorgeous tile floor. And in here are the very fun palette fabrics in here. So the block is right here, okay? It's a quarter square triangle with connector corners on the outside. And then you put the squares together, and then it creates this alternate pattern of these pieced squares on point, okay? But there's no fancy piecing. It's literally a quarter square triangle with connector corners. You put them together, and then they form these diamonds. Pretty cool. This on the outside here, these are just rectangles with connector corners. So, and then this piece of fabric here, we'll look at it in just a minute. It is the ledger from the indigo, and it is really, really cool. So this sashing here, this is the tiny print from the line, and it's really interesting because it's kind of symmetrical, but yet you can see here, so like the center has the framing all the way around, and then on the sides here, it's like cut off. And it also reminded me when I had the privilege of seeing some mosaic floors when I had gone to Rome, what was really strange is that some of those floor patterns were like cut off and then like just went to a different design. And so I don't know, if I was making the quilt, I might want to extend it, you know, my little sense of completeness of symmetry, to have this go all the way around versus just cut off. But I can see the interesting design of having it cut off like that, so that it just appears like it's a little peep into a larger flooring. So just really, really interesting. And let's take a peek at some of the fabrics. What do you think? I'm just going to make sure I was okay. So let's take a peek overhead at these. And so the fabric is available on the by the bolt, or on the bolt. On the bolt. It is not priced by the bolt. It is available on the bolt. All right, so indigo. So indigo here, we have our indigo collage. Super fun with the collage. We have some, this is just fat eighths here that I'm showing you. So the repeats include many more designs, but we have photos of just things, and then some little ephemera and some text and some stamps. Really cool. Little interesting words. In the palette program, every palette does have a piece that has stamps on it. This is the indigo stamps. We have text, and fun fact of the text that are in his different fabric prints, or scrapbook prints for that sake. They are all hand drawn by an artist. None of his text on any of the text prints like this are computer generated. So really fun, and someone using that graph paper there to have very, very, very accurate writing there. Love this one. Reminds me of some vintage draperies or wallpaper. This is the Indigo Ledger. So cool. And I hadn't read this, but one of our members last night was talking about how this was ancestry records or census records. Census records, not very interesting. And then almost every single one of his pieces has a map. This one is Manhattan, and so the Manhattan is repeated around. Very interesting. We have tickets. Love the tickets. This is the tiny print for the collection. The tiny print is used as the sashing. And you can see in here in his prints, if you aren't familiar with it, that there's distressing printed on here as if there is some water stain or maybe some light damage or something, just to make it look vintagey. Tapestry here. And then I think this one is called Indigo Vintage, which is just very interesting, and I love it. So this is our indigo palette. Oh, and somebody says, looks like gargoyles. Ooh, I wonder if that looked like one of those pieces looked like gargoyles in there. Could be, could be. All right, now we're going to take a peek at we'll just layer it on top. Thanks so much. We are going to layer on the purple. So purple is the 10th palette, and I love how the indigo goes into the purple here. If you can see how it works together, really, really, really plays well together here. So this is the collage, and there's different people and different things, and so fun. Imagine how long they had to sit in that portrait with how they took portraits back in the day so that they had a clear picture. Had to wait for that to set. I don't know. Hours, minutes, don't know. Have some stamps. I love this print. This is Botany. And this would be like in your gardening journal with all of your beautiful flowers. Some wallpaper here. This map here, I don't know what this map is. It's a central business district, city hall. There's a river. Doesn't tell me what river. I don't know, but it's cool. This is the tiny print for this purple collection. And I believe it's the same print as an orange that we have here, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. Is it the same? I'm bringing it over and seeing, or the yellow. Maybe. Nope, different. See, all different, all different. I just love how these palettes are all unique. Super fun. And then we have tickets. And this is ephemera. And I love how they included some green in here. Did you know that purple and green is like the most popular quilting combination in Wisconsin? And then this one is called Marble. It looks like an agate or marbling. I can see Tim Holtz and his alcohol ink process doing that. And then this one's really pretty. We have to get more of this one because it's just amazing. So That is just gorgeous. And that's a beautiful floral. So that is the purple collection. What do you think? How many Tim Holtz fans do we have out here? We have a lot of Tim Holtz fans. So we are going to be continuing with the palette. We still have charcoal and multicolor to come through. And we are doing our best to restock the palette and the basics as much as possible. I'm not sure how long after the palette program Tim Holtz SKUs are going to stay active. So make sure if you love it, you get it sooner than later, because there are certain SKUs that that I'm not necessarily given notice of or when they're discontinued and stuff. But I know as we've been trying to re-kit some of the kits through the year that there have been some things that we've run short on and haven't been able to replenish. So if you love the fabric, you want to scoop it up sooner than later, especially as we still have a full wall of all the fabric. We'll do our best, as I said, to make sure that we get it, replenish it. I did get a new wide back on this one, and it's so heavy. I'm going to have Kathy help me hold it up. And you can grab that part here. So this is called Ephemera, and this is a new wide back. And we'll see how we can show you. Let's see. I'll have you cut, we'll go a little closer. So really, really fun. It plays with all sorts of different colors here, and there are different components of the palette in it, but it also has some of his foundational elements, like you can see numbers and just all sorts of really fun different parts. So this is his latest wide back, which we just got in the store. Thank you, Kathy. And so wide back means it is 108 inches wide. Get your workout today. Get her workout. All right. So we talked Tim Holtz. We talked Prairie Gatherings flannel. We talked dovetail. We talked Foraged found. We introduced the Washi Plus, which is not currently on the page, but will be on the page right after we complete tonight's show. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is, so I still left it on the page for the show, the Nantucket summer collection. That has been super, super hot, that navy and white with a little bit of green in there. We have a few of these collector bins available, which are super, super fun. We have that Cheater Swoon 60-inch wide print available. We have wide backs that are on order but aren't here yet. And in this collector bin, if you didn't get to see it, we're going to take a quick peek of it overhead, okay? Because it's really fun, and I just wanted to share it with you and so this is the first in a series that Moda is doing all about a specific designer. So there's this great little box here, and it locks really nice. If you wanted to, you could put a little padlock through it or something to keep it tight. Inside, we have a fun pre-cut. This is 28-inch squares. We have sticker. We have fun charms. We have the ribbon here, and then there is another charm in here of a spool. Great scissors here. The mini charm for the collection. Exclusive quilt labels that are available only in this box. Fun little coin purse. The Nantucket basket pattern, which uses the pre-cut. We also on our website have a finishing kit available that has exactly what you need. The yard and a half of white background, the fat quarter for sashing posts, the 3/4 for the sashing, the yard for the border, and the half yard for the binding. You still would need 3 3/4 of your backing fabric as well as your batting. There is this really super cool mini catalog for the designer of the month. And so this is Camille's catalog. And so this is a small version of the catalog that I get when a fabric release is made. It only is dedicated to Camille, so it's a little bit about her and then talking about her sewing room and her fun facts and then all about the fabric. So, and then her favorite patterns and all sorts of really fun stuff in there. So that's really cool. This reminds me of like the mini journal sentinels that we used to get at State Fair from the, do you remember that? Yeah, so those were super fun. And I remember back in the day when they had the mini green sheets. Oh, the green sheets were cool. All right, and then we have collector journals in here. So it looks like one is just lined and then one is graph paper. So one to journal all of your thoughts and then one to sketch out your next quilt. So super, super fun. We have a few of these left. They are $90 each and they are just a load of fun. And what a great gift for yourself or for your friend. That'd be a great friend. A great friend gift. Kathy says it's a nice sister gift. A nice sister gift. All right. So that's our show for tonight. Wait.
We gotta talk about.
Oh, we got to talk about the pillowcases. Oh my gosh.
Talk about the pillowcases.
Okay, we got to talk about the pillowcases. So I sent out an email this week and we talked about the pillowcase drive. Thank you so much, Kathy.
You're welcome. Fun.
So Kathy loves the pillowcase. You got to stay out here with your pillowcase. Okay, so I don't have a pillowcase demo for us today, which we probably should have thought about, but we didn't have it today because I didn't know we were going to talk about this, even though I should have. So what is this all about? So Ryan's Case for Smiles is the charity that we collect pillowcases for, and they go to the local children's hospital, they go to Ronald McDonald's house, they go to a couple other hospitals. I believe that there are, of the local hospitals, when there are just so many pillowcases that are donated for the pediatric care unit. And the whole point is to make sure that sick kids have a little bit of a smile along with them. So it's a fun thing to do, quick project to make. We have patterns in store. There is a pattern available on the Ryan's Case for Smiles website. There's a bunch of different patterns available for it. Essentially, we use 3/4 of a yard for the body and 3/8 of a yard for the cuff. And then if you are putting a flange is not required. It would be a 2.5 inch strip. So it could be your leftover binding piece. It could be a jelly roll piece. It could be a piece cut from a scrap. Or Kathy's favorite pet project, we have in store here these teeny tiny little bags of fabric, and they're part of our Strip Frenzy strips. So what is a Strip Frenzy strip? It's this fun little bag, and inside is a jelly roll strip. So 2.5 inch by width of fabric strip that you could cut up into 2.5 inch squares. You could use it for a binding. You could use it in part of a jelly roll, or it's the perfect size for a flange. So you just take one of these. They're $1 each. You press it and you put it in there. Super, super fun. And you can know that each and every 2.5 inch strip that has been lovingly packaged in this little bag has been cut by Kathy. So she loves making pillowcases, and we had put some different things together of some kits in the past, and then all of a sudden we had all these little bits, and she said, oh, these make great flanges. So she just kept going and going and going and going. So now we have a whole fun table of all these little strips. So thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. And thanks everybody for supporting the drive.
So September is the official month that we will be collecting, and we're going to be putting a tote screen up at the front of the shop, or not a screen, our tally board. We started collecting now, and we are going to be posting totals through September. So last December we collected 543. We are looking to exceed that, so let's go for 600. And the reason why we're focusing on September, even though we collect all year long, is that it's the official Miles for Smiles month. And I believe the national organization is looking to get something like 40,000 nationally for the month of September. So we're going to help do our part and see what we can do. So thank you so much. And then somebody also posted that, are we still collecting for the book bags for Book Ahead? And yes, we absolutely are collecting the book bags for Book Ahead as well. And now is a great time as we're thinking going back to school. I believe we posted that pattern in our Patchwork Party Facebook group. Let us know if you need either pattern, and we have them available in print form in store as well. Okay. We also, Kathy wanted to remind me that we have loaded up that sale room. So we have a ton of great fabric. You know, we've been buying for the back room, and we have a ton of really great novelty fabric that you've never seen in the main part of the store in the sale room. So most of those fabrics are $8.96 a yard. We're doing our best to make sure that you have a great variety of fabric available at all price points. And so while I'm able to take advantage and scoop up of some of our vendor specials, I'm going ahead and doing that for you. So I hope you enjoy those. So last but not least, we are just going to quick recap our bundle of the week in case if you're coming in late. So our bundle of the week is called Better with Cheddar, and it's 12 fabulous fat quarters that range in this warm goldeny orange color range. And so you have the combination of traditional as well as contemporary and then whimsical prints in there. And you can use them separately, you can use them together. Great stash builder and a great price point. 12 fat quarters available, $24.99. Remember, if you make a purchase, one lucky customer is going to have a $10 gift card put in their order, and that will be available on eligible orders placed through 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. And tomorrow is Friday, August 22nd. So through Friday, August 22nd, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, one lucky online order will receive a $10 gift card. And then one lucky viewer from tonight who has been watching, and we'll extend it through if you're watching the replay through midnight tonight, likes, comments, and or shares on either Facebook or YouTube, and one of you will be receiving a $10 gift card. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me and Kathy. Until next time, happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.